Welcome to my channel BBC Rare Coins. Hey coin lovers and treasure hunters, ever held a piece of history right in your hand? Today, we're diving into one of America's most iconic coins, the legendary Wheat Penny. Let's start. Top 1. Have you ever looked at an old penny and thought it was worthless? Think again. One of the most astonishing treasures in American coin history comes from a simple and often overlooked year, 1940. That's right, a 1940 Wheat Penny, something most people wouldn't glance at twice, once sold for an incredible $66,000. It sounds unbelievable, but it's true. A 1-cent coin, the kind you'd find buried in the bottom of a drawer or stuck between couch cushions, ended up being worth more than a luxury car. So what makes this coin so valuable? Why did a basic copper penny from the 1940s skyrocket in price and attention? To understand the value, you have to know the context. The year 1940 was a time of transition in America. The country was slowly recovering from the Great Depression and unknowingly inching closer to entering World War II. In this climate, pennies were still a big deal. People paid attention to every cent, and money had weight, value, and meaning. Over 586 million wheat pennies were minted that year, which makes most of them very common. But once in a while, something rare slips through the cracks. A few coins, just a handful, were struck with errors, unusual metal compositions, or were minted using dies that had defects. These rare variations make all the difference. They're what transform a penny from ordinary to extraordinary. The 1940 wheat penny that brought in $66,000 was one of these rarities. It was believed to have been struck on a leftover bronze planchet, possibly intended for earlier years. Its condition was nearly flawless. The details were razor-sharp, the shine of the metal still bright despite its age, and every letter and number on the coin appeared crisp under magnification. For coin collectors, this kind of preservation is everything. Combine that with a mint error or rare metal composition, and suddenly you're not holding a coin anymore. You're holding a piece of history with a price tag few would ever expect. What makes this even more exciting is that stories like this don't come from museums or locked vaults. People have found these rare coins in everyday places, inside inherited coin jars, picked up at flea markets, or discovered in coin rolls from the bank. There are real people who unknowingly held thousands of dollars in the palm of their hands. One collector found his rare 1940 penny while casually looking through a roll of coins he got for $5. After having it professionally graded and authenticated, he sent it to auction. The final sale price? $66,000. Now imagine this. How many 1940 wheat pennies are still out there, sitting in boxes, drawers, or jars, waiting to be noticed? What if one of them is yours? What if the next great coin discovery is sitting in your change pile right now? If you're lucky enough to find a 1940 wheat penny in excellent condition, especially with unusual characteristics like a double die, an off-metal strike, or a misplaced mint mark, don't make the mistake of spending it. Don't clean it. Don't toss it back in your drawer. Get it professionally evaluated, because you could be sitting on a hidden fortune. This is more than just a coin story. It's a reminder that treasure doesn't always sparkle or shine. Sometimes it's dusty, copper-colored, and forgotten. But in the right condition and with the right features, a penny can be worth more than its weight in gold. The next time you come across a wheat penny, especially one from 1940, take a second look. Because in the world of coin collecting, every penny has a story, and some stories are worth tens of thousands of dollars. Top 2. In a world where we often overlook spare change, imagine finding a simple copper coin in your pocket that's worth more than a brand new luxury car. Sounds impossible? Not when it comes to one of the most mysterious and valuable coins in American history, the 1942 wheat penny. A single, ordinary-looking penny from this year once sold for an astonishing $62,000. That's right, $62,000 for a 1-cent coin that millions of people have likely passed over without a second thought at first glance. The 1942 wheat penny looks just like any other. The iconic image of Abraham Lincoln on the front. The words 1 cent and United States of America framed by 2 stalks of wheat on the back. It's a design nearly every American has seen. But hidden among the common are a few incredibly rare 1942 wheat pennies that collectors and historians dream about. These rare pieces are not only valuable because of their age, they're valuable because of their mistakes, their mysteries, and their condition. They're the type of coins that slipped past the eyes of the U.S. Mint, escaping into the world with one-of-a-kind features. The 1942 penny that sold for $62,000 wasn't just lucky. It was special. Minted during the height of World War II, it's believed to have been struck on the wrong planchet, possibly a leftover bronze alloy not meant to be used that year. Most pennies at the time were made from standard copper, but a few, due to errors or transitional periods, were created using different materials or struck with unusual dyes. This made them immediate rarities. Combine that with a flawless, uncirculated condition, where the shine of the coin, the sharpness of its detail, and the perfection of its surface is untouched, and you've got a coin that's almost mythical in value. Imagine holding that coin. Not much bigger than a button, yet worth more than $60,000. And the best part? These coins weren't discovered in museums or vaults. They were found by everyday people. Someone digging through an old coin collection, checking pocket change, or just flipping through a roll of coins from the bank. One collector found his 1942 treasure tucked away in a forgotten coin album handed down from his grandfather. It looked ordinary at first, but something about it caught his eye. After getting it professionally graded and authenticated, it went to auction, and the bidding war ended at a mind-blowing $62,000. What makes stories like this go viral isn't just the money. It's the thrill of discovery. It's knowing that a hidden gem could be sitting right in front of you, that the next big find in coin history could be hiding in a coffee can, a desk drawer, or under the floorboards of an old house. It makes people rethink every penny they see. And when it comes to the 1942 wheat penny, that's exactly what you should be doing. Because these rare versions are still out there. You just have to look closely. Key features that make a 1942 wheat penny rare include off-metal strikes, misprinted dates, double dyes, and extraordinary preservation. If you ever come across one, don't clean it, don't spend it, and don't assume it's worthless. Get it graded by a professional. You could be holding a small piece of metal that's worth tens of thousands of dollars. In the world of numismatics, where history and value collide, these coins are the ultimate prize. So next time you see a wheat penny, take a second look, especially if it's from 1942, because behind that familiar copper color could be a treasure worth $62,000. And if you're lucky, the next great American coin story could be yours. Top 3. They say not all treasure is silver and gold, and nothing proves that more than the legendary 1944 wheat penny, one of the most surprising and valuable coins in American history. While millions of people pass over pennies every day without a second thought, a rare version of the 1944 wheat penny has turned heads and made headlines, selling for an unbelievable $57,000. Just imagine holding a coin worth that much. A single cent that changed someone's life. At first glance, the 1944 wheat penny looks completely ordinary. It has Lincoln's portrait on the front, just like every other penny, and the familiar wheat stalks on the back. Over 1.4 billion were minted that year, making it one of the most common dates in the wheat penny series. But hidden among all those ordinary coins is a rare variation that's anything but average. A small number of 1944 pennies were struck on the wrong type of metal, steel planchets that were left over from 1943. That year, during World War II, the U.S. Mint used steel coated with zinc to save copper for the war effort. In 1944, the Mint returned to copper, but a few steel blanks remained in the machines, and that's how one of the rarest and most valuable errors in coin history was born. This rare 1944 steel wheat penny is what collectors dream of. Lightweight, magnetic, and completely different in color from the usual copper tone, it stands out the moment you see it. But not all of them are this dramatic. Some 1944 pennies were struck on bronze planchets used for foreign coins, creating yet another rare and valuable variation. These unexpected errors weren't meant to happen, but they did, and the coins that resulted from them are now among the most hunted pieces in American numismatic history. The $57,000 price tag wasn't just because the coin was rare, it was in pristine condition. Coins like this are often heavily circulated, scratched, or worn down. But this one was practically untouched, preserved in nearly mint condition for decades. Every detail, from Lincoln's profile to the edges of the wheat stalks, was razor sharp. Its surface gleamed, and once authenticated and graded, it went up for auction and left the collecting world stunned when the hammer dropped at $57,000. What's even more exciting is that coins like this haven't only been discovered in high-end collections or behind glass cases. People have found them in the most ordinary places: old jars, inherited coin books, even rolls from the bank. The person who sold this 1944 penny for $57,000 didn't even know what they had at first. It looked just like every other penny until someone noticed it didn't quite match the usual weight, color, and shine. That tiny detail led to a massive discovery, and what started as a simple coin turned into a life-changing payday. That's the magic of rare coins. They hide in plain sight. And with a year as common as 1944, the odds of finding one might seem slim, but they're not zero. Every collector, from beginner to expert, knows that the next big find could be sitting in a coin jar or stuck between the couch cushions. These coins don't just carry value. They carry history, mystery, and the thrill of discovery. It's what makes coin hunting so addictive, and what keeps people coming back to their old change over and over again. So, if you ever come across a 1944 wheat penny, don't be so quick to toss it aside. Check the weight. Look at the color. Examine the surface closely. If it's silver-colored and sticks to a magnet, you might have something truly special. If it looks unusually well-preserved, even better. Have it graded, get it authenticated, and you could be the next person holding a penny worth tens of thousands of dollars. Because in the world of coin collecting, even the smallest piece of metal can hold the biggest surprise. The 1944 wheat penny is proof that something so simple, so common, can still be worth more than you ever imagined. So keep your eyes open, check your change, and remember, not every treasure sparkles. Some treasures are copper, some are steel, and some are worth $57,000. Top 4. In a world where most people see a penny as worthless, few realize that the right one could be worth a fortune. One of the most shocking and valuable discoveries in U.S. coin history is tied to a year that seems ordinary on the surface, 1950. That's right. A 1950 wheat penny once sold for an unbelievable $52,000, turning one of the most overlooked coins into a viral sensation. Imagine holding a 1-cent coin in your hand that could change your financial future. It's not just a dream for one lucky collector. It was real. At first glance, the 1950 wheat penny doesn't look special. It carries the same iconic design as millions of others: Abraham Lincoln's profile on the front, the classic wheat stalks on the reverse, and the simple inscription 1 cent. More than 272 million pennies were struck that year at various U.S. mint facilities, making the 1950 penny a common date in most collections. But here's where the story takes a wild turn. Among those hundreds of millions of coins are a handful of rare errors and ultra-high-grade examples that make all the difference, the kind of difference that turns a penny into tens of thousands of dollars. The coin that sold for $52,000 wasn't just rare, it was nearly perfect. Graded at the highest levels by professional numismatists, this 1950 wheat penny had barely seen the light of day. Its surface was flawless, its luster unmatched, and every detail, from Lincoln's hair to the delicate wheat stalks, was struck with stunning precision. But what really pushed this penny into legendary territory was a combination of rarity and condition. Some experts believe it may have been struck with a slightly misaligned die or on an unusual planchet, adding to its uniqueness. Whether it was a mint error or simply one of the finest surviving examples of its kind, this penny drew massive attention at auction and stunned the coin collecting world when it crossed the $50,000 mark. Stories like this don't just happen to historians or museums. They happen to everyday people, collectors, hobbyists, or even someone cleaning out their grandparents' attic. That $52,000 penny didn't come from a vault or a treasure chest. It came from a forgotten coin album, passed down through the years, unnoticed until someone looked just a little closer. That's what makes the Wheat Penny series so thrilling. You never know what you might have. In a jar full of copper cents, one coin could stand out, and that one coin could be worth more than most people earn in a year. The 1950 Wheat Penny is a perfect reminder that you should never ignore the small things. Every coin tells a story. And while most 1950 pennies are worth just a cent or two, the rarest examples are pure gold for collectors. Whether it's a rare mint error, a unique metal composition, or simply an unbelievably well-preserved piece, these coins are the hidden gems of American currency. They're out there, in circulation, in basements, in shoeboxes, just waiting to be found. If you come across a 1950 wheat penny, don't brush it off. Check its condition carefully. Look for anything unusual, off-center strikes, unusual shine, doubled letters, or unexpected weight. Even the smallest detail can turn a regular penny into something extraordinary. And if you think you've found something rare, have it authenticated and graded. It could be the key to unlocking a five-figure surprise. In the world of rare coins, the 1950 wheat penny has become a legend. From a simple coin that once sat in pockets and purses to a $52,000 auction star, it proves that history, rarity, and a little bit of luck can create the ultimate collectible. So the next time you're sifting through your change, remember this story. Because you never know, the most valuable coin in your life could be sitting right in your hand, waiting to be discovered. Top 5. Every now and then, a seemingly ordinary coin shocks the world. It doesn't shine like gold, it's not made of silver, and it doesn't come with a treasure map. It's a humble penny, small, copper, and often ignored. But in the world of coin collecting, one rare 1958 wheat penny turned out to be anything but ordinary. It sold for an incredible $49,000, making it one of the most valuable and unexpected coins in U.S. history. The story behind this penny is not just about money, it's about mystery, rarity, and the unbelievable surprises hidden in plain sight. The 1958 wheat penny was the final year of the beloved wheat design, which had appeared on U.S. 1-cent coins since 1909. The following year, 1959, would introduce the Lincoln Memorial Reverse, a huge shift in design. As a result, the 1958 issue was already special in the eyes of collectors. But most of the 1958 pennies were mass-produced in enormous numbers, with over 250 million struck. So how could a single penny from this year command nearly $50,000? The answer lies in one word: error. The ultra-rare 1958 wheat penny that made headlines wasn't just in good condition, it had something extremely unusual: a double die. This error occurred during the minting process, where the die that strikes the coin imprints the design twice, slightly off, creating a noticeable doubling effect. On this coin, the doubling could be seen in the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust." These letters appeared thick, shadowed, and distorted, a striking visual clue that something went wrong in the minting process, but incredibly right for collectors. There are only a few verified examples of the 1958 double die wheat penny, making it one of the rarest in the entire Lincoln Cent series. Most people will never even see one in person. The one that sold for $49,000 was in astonishing condition, preserved almost perfectly over the decades. Its surface showed sharp details, deep luster, and almost no wear, making it a gem in the eyes of grading experts. The combination of its rarity, the dramatic error, and the pristine condition made it one of the most sought-after pennies of all time. What's even more incredible is where these coins have been found. One was discovered in a small personal collection passed down through a family. Another surfaced from a coin roll that someone picked up at the bank for just 50 cents. That's the beauty of coins like this. They're not locked away in private vaults. They're still out there, hiding in plain sight, waiting for someone to recognize what others missed. The 1958 wheat penny is proof that even the last of a series can carry massive value. Most people wouldn't look twice at a penny from the 1950s. But for those who know what to look for, the doubled lettering, the flawless strike, the signs of rarity, these coins are like winning the lottery. They sit quietly in drawers, jars, and old collections until someone with a careful eye uncovers their hidden worth. If you ever come across a 1958 wheat penny, don't ignore it. Examine it closely. Look at the lettering under magnification. If you see any doubling, any strange thickness in the text, or any signs that the coin is in unusually good shape, you might be staring at a small fortune. Get it checked by a professional, because it could be worth far more than just 1 cent. In a world full of surprises, the 1958 wheat penny reminds us that sometimes the most valuable things are the ones we least expect. From a coin meant to mark the end of an era, came one of the rarest and most valuable cents ever created. One coin, one error, one unbelievable moment in history worth $49,000. Keep your eyes open. Your change might just change your life.